Also looking at the manifesto of Labour in terms of disability specific. So we've talked about sport, but in terms of disability specifically, again, there's not a huge amount about disability, essentially trying to get disabled people into work, but that's the same for lots of different segments of society. But there is a section, I think on page 90 of the manifesto. Again, I just did a keyword search. I didn't read every single page of the manifesto. But on the keyword search, what I found was that it says Labour is committed to championing the rights of disabled people and the principle of working with them so that their views and voices will be at the heart of all we do. That's a verbatim transcript there that I just quoted from. Interestingly, it says we will introduce the full right to equal pay for disabled people. So Labour are committed in their manifesto that there should be a right to have equal pay for disabled people. So building on their gender focus in terms of pay gap reporting, they also want to get large companies and large employers to report on how there's a gap, or if there is a gap between disability and ethnicity. So there seems to be a focus in terms of getting better rights for disabled people in terms of their employment and their work. And there's also a point in the manifesto that says that Labour will tackle the access to work backlog. And I think this is quite an interesting point. Make sure that people can try out a job without fear of an immediate benefit reassessment if it does not work out. Now, the reason why I think that is interesting is because that links to something that in the research suggests can be a quite prominent theme, is that some disabled people, if they are trying to be physically active or participate in sport, if they are reliant to a degree or a strong degree on benefits as part of their disposable income, then there has been a suggestion that some people are fearful of being active because if they are seen to be active and then someone suggests that they are not eligible for the benefits because they're showing a certain proficiency in physical activity that they believe does not meet their level of impairment, they could potentially lose those benefits. And Activity Alliance, which in the UK, or certainly in England, sorry, is kind of the main non-government body that focuses on inclusive sport and inclusive physical activity and a fair representation of disabled people, has put as part of their priorities protecting the benefits as the number one. So it's not exactly a match in terms of here Activity Alliance we're focusing on sport and benefits, but in the Labour manifesto there is that focus on perhaps reducing that um, culture of reporting on anyone who might be deemed to be a benefit cheat. And I put that in air quotes for those who are listening rather than watching the video. So that's interesting. That potentially could have some sort of synergy with the priorities of a company like Activity Alliance and what is in the Labour manifesto. Also, just whilst we're on the Activity Alliance bit, two other areas that they were focusing on was equip health and care workers. So a better integration between the health and care sector and sport and physical activity. Again, there isn't much in the manifesto from Labour about what they will do for sport, but there is definitely a focus on trying to reduce waiting times for the NHS, to invest in the National Health Service and to support care. Liberal Democrats as the opposition will probably put a little bit of focus on the care sector and the care challenges that exist. But it'd be interesting to see going forward whether that link between health and care sector and physical activity and sport as a potential remedy or solution for some of the potential issues that some people might experience will actually be utilized going forward. That's not clear. And the other priority the Activity Alliance had was increasing accessible outdoor spaces. I haven't seen huge amounts in the Labour manifesto about that, so we'll wait to see whether that is actually going to happen.